Gotta write a classic. Gotta write it in an attic. Babe, I'm an addict now. An addict for your love. I was a stray boy from the rest. Now listen to my say. If it changed to another way, would the difference make it? Would it be a classic? I gotta send it. Gotta write it and add it. Babe, I'm another time since losing your love. I've been losing my mind. No more can I see the future so clear. And it's not what I mean. I mean, it's not what I mean. I mean, it's not what it seems. I just keep living for dreams. Gotta write a classic. Gotta write it in an attic. Yes, babe, I'm an addict now. I know. I'm an addict for your love. Gotta write it down, send it right away. And I'm out of trouble. And I'm hearing the words I say. Gotta write it down, send it right away. And I'm out of control. Without your love can't flow. There's no in the modern age, where love is fast like a turning page in a magazine. We used to know they disappear, they come and go like the times we had. It's kind of sad. Whatever happened to old-fashioned love? The kind that would see you through. The kind, yeah, whatever happened to old-fashioned love? The kind that would last through the years, through the trials, through the smiles, through the tears. Tomorrow we'll understand if it all should end. We'll only be. Love, so that my mama and daddy knew. Yeah, whatever happened to old-fashioned love? The kind through the tears. For now, the tenderness has been replaced with something less. And whatever happened to old-fashioned love? The kind that would see you through. The kind of love that my mama and daddy knew. Yeah, whatever happened to old-fashioned love? The kind that would last through the years, through the trials, through the smiles, through the tears. Test transmission here on Old Time Radio, 2CM here in Newcastle. Welcome to another day of broadcasting on our station, Old Time Radio 2CM, and our special program, Bibles through Variety.
Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who were in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased their joy. They rejoice before you as people rejoice that you have shattered the yoke that burdens them. The bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressed, destined for burning, will be fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. The Lord has sent a message against Jacob. It will fall on Israel. All the people will know it. Ephraim and the inhabitants storm.
The fig trees have been felled, but we will replace them with cedars.
But the Lord has strengthened Rezon's foes against them, and has spurred their enemies on. Arameans from the east, his anger is not turned away. His hand is still upraised. But the people have not returned to him who struck them. Both head and tail, both palm branch and reed in a single day. The elders and dignitaries are the head. The prophets who teach lies are the tail. Those who guide this people mislead them, and those who are guided, nor will he pity the fatherless and widows, for everyone is ungodly and wicked. Every mouth speaks folly. Yet for all this, his anger is not turned away. His hand is still upraised. Surely, blaze so that it rose upward in a column of smoke. By the wrath of the Lord Almighty, the land will be scorched, and the people will be fuel for the fire, but still be hungry. On the left, they will eat, but not be satisfied. They will all feed on the flesh of their own. They will turn against Judah. Yet for all this, his anger is not turned away. His hand is still upraised.
First radio cassette with FM AM stereo, Music Search plus 2 Polypro speakers totaling 120 watts of pounding power. Normally priced at $560, Ryder reduces it to $299. Out they go at just $129. Ryder Car Radios, Petersham, Chatswood, Bankstown and Edgecliff.
You're listening to 2CM and the Hi-Fi Home Service, the music of your life.
The Lord came from Sinai, and thousands of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand. And they sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. And he was king in Jeshurun when the heads of the people and the tribes of Israel were gathered together. Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. Unto his people, let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou an help to him from his enemies. And of Levi he said, Let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massa, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah, who said unto he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word, and kept thy covenant. They shall teach Jacob thy judgments, and Israel thy law. They shall put incense before thee, and hold burnt sacrifice upon thine altar. Bless, Lord, his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. The Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath, and for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills. and for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the goodwill of him that dwelt in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, in thy going out, and Issachar in thy tents. They shall call the people unto the mountain. There they shall offer. And of Gad he said, Blessed be he that enlargeth Gad, the arm with the crown of the head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated. And he came with the heads of the people, he executed the justice of the Lord, and his judgments with Israel. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's whelp. He shall leap from with the blessing of the Lord. Possess thou the west and the south. And of Asher he said, Let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be. There is no, the eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, Destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon the land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall see. And thine enemies shall be liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places.
Afterward, Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said,
This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go, so that they may hold a festival to me in the
Let Israel go. Then,
or he may strike us with plagues or with the sword.
but the king of Egypt said,
Moses and Aaron, why are you taking the people away from their labor? Get back to your work.
Then Pharaoh said,
Look, the people of the land are now numerous, and you are stopping them from working.
That same day, Pharaoh gave this order to the slaves.
Making bricks. Let them go. They are lazy. That is why they are crying out, Let us go and sacrifice to our God. Make the work harder for them so that they keep working and pay no attention to lies.
Then the slave drivers and the overseers went out and said to the people,
This is what Pharaoh says. I will not.
People scattered all over Egypt to gather stubble to use for straw. The slave drivers kept pressing them. The slave drivers beat the Israelite overseers they had appointed, demanding,
Why haven't you met your quota of bricks yesterday or today as before?
Then the Israelite overseers went and appealed to Pharaoh.
Why have you treated us this way? Your servants are given no straw, yet we are told, make bricks. Your servants are being beaten, but the fault is with your own people.
Pharaoh said,
Lazy, that's what you are. Lazy. That is why you keep saying, Let us go and sacrifice to them.
The Israelite overseers, they were in trouble when they were told, You are not to reduce the number of bricks required of you for each day. When they left Pharaoh, they found Moses and Aaron waiting to meet them, and they said,
May the Lord look on you and judge you. You have made us up.
Turned to the Lord and said,
Why, Lord? Why have you brought trouble on this people? Is this like brought trouble on this people, and you have not rescued your people at all?
And I need thy strength and the power to help me over my weakest hour. Let me through the darkness thy face to see. Lead me, O Lord, guide me along the way. I cannot stray. Lord, let me walk each day with thee. Lead me, O Lord, lead me. If you Lead me, O Lord. Lead me.
Jesus then left that place and went into the region of Judea and across the Jordan. But some Pharisees came and tested him by asking,
Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife and get a divorce and send her away? It was because your hearts were hard that Moses wrote you this law. But at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they're no longer two, but one.